Hello folks, in stock lease deals of the month for you. Petrols, diesels, hybrids in this one, and we've got plenty of choice. Starting off with a couple of cheapies just quickly. We've got the Vauxhall Corsa, 234 quid a month with 702 up front. It's the 1.2 turbo GS. 296 quid has been the average price on it, 376 at its peak, 217 at its lowest point, currently 234. Say a Rona 1 litre TSI S, 11.3 seconds to 62, 53 mpg, 95 brake horsepower, insurance group 10, and 400 litres of boot space. 688 up front on that one, and 299 a month. It's a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. All these deals are 10,000 miles a year. This is the lowest price we've seen it, and I think it's a phenomenal price for that little car. 344 at its peak. 284 has been the average on it. 229 at the moment. That's a decent little compact SUV that will suit most people down to the ground for 230 quid a month. Nissan Juke 1 litre Digi Techno, 256 quid a month on that, 770 up front. And then we've got the Renault Symbioz 1.3 TCE 140 Techno, 11.2 seconds to 62, 47.9 mpg, insurance group 16, 443 litres of boot space, 789 up front, 263 a month. 263 has been the average on it because the average goes back to the 30th of June. So since then, this has been a good price. Prior to that, I can't really tell you. That feels like pretty good value to me for a car that offers you a fair bit. Folks, just a very quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks. The good old Focus, the 1 litre EcoBoost hybrid, mild hybrid ST line. This is a good car to lease and not to buy because they have a habit of going pop after a little while. 854 up front and 284 a month, 10.2 seconds to 62, 50 mpg, insurance group 15, and 125 brake horsepower. The wet belt is now a chain in this 1 litre EcoBoost, but it still has a wet belt, I think, for the oil pump. So I still wouldn't want one of those with 60,000 miles on it. But as a brand new car with full manufacturer's warranty, who cares? £303 a month on average, 322 at its peak, 279 at its lowest point. We're a fiver more than that at the moment at 284 quid. And of course, it's in stock. Link to Lease Loco in the video description. And if you're watching on the telly, there's a QR code popping up as well. So scan that with your phone and it will help me out. Citroen C5 1.5 litre diesel max edition. C5 Aircross 1.5 litre max edition, 10.6 seconds to 62, 45 mpg, 131 brake horsepower. Insurance group 19 and 720 litres of boot space. 3 full seats across the back in this, so you get 3 car seats in there. So if you have got more than 2 children, this is probably not a bad shout for you. 860 up front, 286 a month. Average on it's been 432, £622 a month at its peak, and it's currently £4 a month more than it was at its lowest point, so not too bad. Kona 1.6 hybrid, 129 advance, automatic. It's not very fast, 12 seconds to 62, but 60 mpg is claimed. 466 litres of boot space, insurance group 16, 129 brake horsepower. 860 up front and 286 a month on a 3-year deal. 340 a month's been the average on it. 393 at its peak. And again, we're £4 more than this car was at its lowest point. This is a really great value car. And once again, it's offering really good bang for your buck. Nissan Qashqai 1.3 Digi mild hybrid end connector with the glass roof. You probably know the stats on these by now, but under 300 quid a month for a brand new Qashqai on a 3-year deal with full manufacturer's warranty. 850 up front, 290 a month. 318 a month's been the average, 368 at its peak. And its lowest point is 13 quid a month less than it is now. You'll see the pricing doesn't fluctuate madly on these, and it's because they sell bucket loads of them. It's always in the top 5 of the biggest selling cars in the UK, pretty much. And it's because they tick a lot of boxes for a lot of people. 290 quid a month for that is not too bad. Mazda CX-5 2 litre eSky Active mild hybrid centerline. 10.5 seconds to 62, 43.5 mpg, 522 litres of boot space, insurance group 17, and 165 brake horsepower. 950 up front, 316 a month. 376 has been the peak on it. 343 has been the average, and this is the lowest price it's been at £316.80. You'll find the Mazda CX-5 is one of the better handling SUVs you're going to find. Mazda are very good at getting cars to handle nicely and giving you a somewhat responsive drive. And that's not always the case in these mid-size SUVs. And it really is a nice thing to drive. Got DS4 for you, 1.6 E-Tense performance line nav with the automatic gearbox, 7.7 seconds to 62, 225 brake horsepower, 390 litres of boot space, insurance group 28. It's plug-in hybrid, it's on a 3-year deal. You're looking at $352 a month for that one. It's only a tenner more than it was at its lowest point. 871 was the peak on it, and 569 has been the average. VW T-Roc 2-litre diesel 150 Evo R-Line automatic, 8.8 seconds to 62, 53 mpg, 150 brake horsepower, insurance group 26, and 445 litres of boot space. £1,100 up front and $362 a month. 474 has been the average on it, 519 at its peak. At its lowest point, it's about 5 or less than it is now. It's 362 a month with 1100 up front. Next is the Golf 1.5 TSI Match Hybrid, E-Hybrid, 7.2 seconds to 62. It's the plug-in hybrid, 204 brake horsepower, insurance group 26, and 273 litres of boot space. You lose a bit of the boot space because of that hybrid system. 368 was the lowest point on it, currently 375, so not too far away from that. And of course, this one's in stock. 693 at its peak, and 412 has been the average on it. So not too bad at the moment. 1127 up front and 375 a month. Don't forget to use that link to Lease Loco. If you just Google Lease Loco and go onto it that way, they still get you as a customer, but I don't get anything by way of thanks. So yeah, using the link makes a difference. 1162 up front and 387 a month gets you a Skoda Superb Estate. This one's the IVSE technology. Again, a plug-in hybrid, 8.1 seconds to 62, 204 brake horsepower, insurance group 29, and 510 litres of boot space. 387 a month at the moment. 451's been the average on it. 590 at its peak, and at its lowest point, it was only £7 a month less than it is right now. It's a lovely car. It's got bags of space. That's a 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. Audi A3 Sportback 40 TFSI E-Sport S-Tronic. This one again is a plug-in hybrid, 388 a month on that. Its lowest point was a tenner a month less than it is now, but at its peak it was 731. I've got another plug-in hybrid, but also a standard hybrid version of it. So the plug-in first, it's the Hyundai Tucson Ultimate Edition with the automatic gearbox, 7.9 seconds to 62. 558 litres of boot space, insurance group 23, and 252 horsepower. That's the lowest price we've seen it. The average on it's been 465, 531 at its peak, and this is the best price we've seen it. It's also one of the most popular cars on Lease Loco at all times. If you go for the standard hybrid, you'll see that it's actually £3-4 a month more than the average on it at the moment. Again, it's a car where the price doesn't fluctuate massively. We did have one big drop on it. It's 336 at some point, but that was in February. But most of the time it floats around about the £400 a month mark, and it's currently 382. Next, we've got the Cupra Formentor 1.5 litre ETSI 150 V2 DSG automatic, 9 seconds to 62, 47 mpg, 150 brake horsepower, 450 litres of boot space, nearly 1100 up front and 364 a month. 400 a month has been the average on it, 515 at its peak. At its lowest point, it was £303 a month, and that was just the other day, 2 days ago, in fact, at the time I'm recording this. Currently 364 a month with 1100 up front. That could have been a complete one-off. It might have been one car, could have been a cancelled order or something. But it might just be worth keeping an eye on this one, just in case that price drops again. Sometimes if they do a silly deal on something, they might put 5 cars into the market to test the water. if it does well, they might chuck some more in. So maybe just keep an eye on this one over the next couple of days, clicking through my link as you do, of course. There's also the plug-in hybrid version of this one. $399 a month at the moment. 483 has been the average, 637 at its peak, so that's one to have a think about as well. Still, we've got the plug-in Passat. That's 1200 up front and 408 a month. That's a car that gives you a hell of a lot of bang for your buck. Really good all-electric range as well. I'm sure that can do somewhere in the region of 70 miles on the all-electric, or 60, 70 miles, somewhere in that neighbourhood. And obviously it's a car that's just beautiful to drive. Audi A5 Avant 2-litre TFSI 150 S-Line S-Tronic, 9.8 seconds to 62, 41 mpg, 476 litres of boot space, insurance group 24, 150 brake horsepower, 1,500 quid up front and 497 a month. 578 has been the average on it, 642 at its peak. Its lowest point, it was 26 quid less than it is right now. This one's in stock, so on a 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, and that looks like fairly good value for money right now. Genesis G80 2.5 litre turbo luxury line automatic rear-wheel drive with the innovation pack, 6 seconds to 62, 33 mpg, 424 litres of boot space, insurance group 43 and 304 brake horsepower, 1,600 up front, 532 a month, 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. 852's been the average on it, 1128 at its peak. Again, we've had silly season on this recently. It went to 388, but again, it was for like a day. And I'm sure that was probably a cancelled order or a business's order one and gone bust or something like that. 1,600 up front, 532 a month, and it's the kind of price we've been seeing on it since end of March, start of April, really. It's been floating around this £530 a month mark. It's a superb car. I have reviewed one on the channel before, so feel free to go and check that out. The 2.5 litre turbo petrol is wonderful. Feels just like a 6-cylinder, even though it's not. BMW 3 Series Touring 330e M Sport Steptronic Auto, 6 seconds to 62, 292 brake horsepower, insurance group 35 and 410 litres of boot space. Again, this one's a plug-in hybrid. Loads of deals on plug-in hybrids at the moment. 1,700 up front and 569 a month. Lowest point was 50 quid less than it is right now, but at its peak, it was 140 quid, 130 quid more than it is right now. On average, 617, currently 569. Volvo XC60 2-litre T8 455 plug-in hybrid ultra black edition all-wheel drive Geartronic, 4.9 seconds to 62, 468 litres of boot space, insurance group 42 and 455 brake horsepower. 2235 up front and 745 a month. Average on it's been 854, at its peak 925. This is the lowest price we've seen it so far. Jeep Grand Cherokee 2-litre turbo plug-in hybrid again, Summit Reserve, 6.3 seconds to 62, 381 brake horsepower, insurance group 49 and 533 litres of boot space, 2,365 up front and 788 a month. 1,200 quid has been the average on it, 1,250 nearly has been the average on it, 1,464 at its peak. Its lowest point, it was a tenner a month less than it is now. It's 788 a month with 2,365 up front. You don't need me to point out, but the difference between the price here and the price today is shocking, really. So that does look like a bit of value. By the way, I know this video is very heavy with plug-in hybrid deals. These are just the best deals I'm showing you at the moment. And I think it'll probably continue like this for a little while, because manufacturers that are not doing particularly well with pure electric sales, like Jeep, for example, because they've got one, I think, pure electric option at the moment, and it's not very good, can actually claw back some credits by selling lots of plug-in hybrids. And they're trying to, and a lot of these manufacturers are trying to produce fewer pure petrol and diesel cars. And therefore, you know, we're probably going to see more and more deals on plug-in hybrids as time goes on. Here's another one, Lexus RX 450h Plus 2.5 litre Premium Plus ECVT, 6.5 seconds to 62, 309 brake horsepower, insurance group 44 and 612 litres of boot space. Weird thing with this one is it's just a straight 3 years, so there's no big lump sum at the beginning. And I don't know why, but it's just the way the deal is. You've got the option of putting a month down in the first payment or 12 months as your first payment. So I've gone for the 1 month. 794 a month on this one, with 794 as your first payment. 874 has been the average on it, 1429 at its peak. Again, that's just some anomaly, really. I don't think anyone's paid that for one. 753 at its lowest point, currently 794. Then we've got the Audi Q7 55 TFSI E-Quattro S-Line Tiptronic. Surprise, surprise, it's a plug-in hybrid. 2,681 up front and 893 a month. 5.7 seconds to 62, 394 brake horsepower. Insurance Group 50 and 563 litres of boot space. 964 on average, 1140 at its peak. 835 at its lowest point, currently 893, but it's in stock, so 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. Today's video is not sponsored, but go and check out ALA if you want your gap insurance. It's just silly not to. Use the code JIM10 at checkout to save yourself 10% off anything on their site. Please use that link to Lease Loco. Please subscribe to the channel. Please give me a thumbs up. Please share. And please have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.